Final.
Cup championship bound, baby! Woo! Big cup, baby! Woo! Here, man. It got a little crazy out there, but we made it through.
We're gonna keep stacking the day, so see you in the championship.
Bow, bow, bow! Let's go!
June 17th wasn't just another game, it was payback. Remember May 30th, when Jacy Sheldon and the Connecticut Sun left Sophie Cunningham and Sydney Colson injured on the floor? When the dirty plays went unpunished? Well, the Indiana Fever remembered everything. So when Sheldon poked Caitlin Clark right in the eye during the rematch, something inside the Fever snapped. What happened next showed exactly why you never mess with Clark's teammates, because Sophie Cunningham was about to deliver one of the most satisfying flagrant fouls you'll ever see. If you support the Fever, comment CC and spicy Sophie below. Let's go.
It was chippy the last time these two teams faced off too. Sophie Cunningham suffered her ankle injury in that game, but in addition to that, she actually had part of her front tooth knocked out. She made contact with Jacy Sheldon as Caitlin Clark knocks down the triple.
But what people don't talk about enough is how hard you have to work to be able to be that good. All the hours that she's spent perfecting her craft.
Retreating, firing, and hitting.
So she can do that.
On Indiana arguing the call.
I mean, step back, you're late. She almost looks you in the eye.
Picture this, May 30th, Indiana Fever versus Connecticut Sunday. And everything went wrong for the Fever. The game started normally, just another WNBA matchup. But the Sun came out with a level of physicality that crossed the line from competitive to dangerous. From the opening tip, you could feel the tension building.
We talk about the physicality for a second. Two players on the Indiana Fever got injured last night by the same player on the Connecticut Sun, and that was Jacy Sheldon. And I tweeted about it. She was playing so reckless. I'm fine with players playing aggressive, but there is a thin line between playing aggressive and playing reckless. When you dive for a ball, you don't land on somebody's leg. She landed on top of Sydney Colson's leg, and her leg got stuck and literally twisted around. Both injuries, both Sydney Colson and Sophie Cunningham, were contact injuries.
Sophie Cunningham went down first after what looked like a deliberate hit. Way too much contact for a routine play. Then Sydney Colson got hurt on another questionable action that had everyone asking, what is happening out here? And right in the middle of both plays, Jacy Sheldon, playing with the kind of reckless aggression that makes your blood boil.
They weren't non-contact. They weren't ACLs. They weren't Achilles. They were contact injuries caused by the same player. And this kind of physicality that the WNBA they brag about. They say it's always been a physical league. That's just the heart of the It's not good basketball. And we've seen so many injuries. Paige Becker's out with a concussion. Rakia Jackson was out with a concussion. All of these injuries are contact plays. We've seen Caitlin Clark last year get chucked to the ground. We saw Angel Reese get clothesline chucked to the ground. The players continue to do it because the refs are allowing them. Why wouldn't you keep doing it if you're a physical player?
Here's where the college rivalry matters. Sheldon and Clark had been battling since their Iowa versus Ohio State days. Sheldon made it her mission to get under Clark's skin, shadowing her everywhere, bumping her on screens, talking trash nonstop. At this point, this wasn't just basketball. It was personal.
Her mortal enemy took out a player. Jacy Sheldon. Caitlin Clark's mortal enemy. Jacy Sheldon.
And on May 30th, the referees let everything slide, as if they were watching a different game entirely. Hard fouls went uncalled. Dangerous plays were ignored. Clark had to watch her teammates get hurt while Sheldon walked away, without even a warning. The Fever lost the game 85-83, but what mattered more was losing two key players to preventable injuries. Sophie Cunningham and Sydney Colson were sidelined, and their absence was felt in the games that followed.
This is a reckless play. This is reckless. It is dangerous. And this angle makes it look even worse. It is dangerous. Like, Sid Colson is between her and the ball. Sid Colson is, in fact, between Jacy Sheldon and the ball, and she dives through her knee. It wasn't even called as a foul.
You could see the fire in Clark's eyes after that loss. The way she looked at Sheldon in the handshake line, the way she answered post-game questions. This wasn't over. June 17th couldn't arrive fast enough. And when it did, Clark was back from her quad injury. After a dominant win against the undefeated New York Liberty, she was ready to face the sun again. Her body language said it all. This wasn't just another game.
She just texts me. She never texts me during the game.
All right. Here is Clark splashing home a three from way downtown. Kelly escorting her back to the bench.
Jacy Sheldon is there with her hand in her face.
Back from her quad injury. After a dominant win against the undefeated New York Liberty, she was ready to face the sun again. Her body language said it all. This wasn't just another game. Clip 7. From the opening possession, the tension was thick. Sheldon guarded Clark like her life depended on it, getting way too close, bumping her off screens, doing every little dirty thing she could. The same aggressive style that injured Sophie Cunningham and Sydney Colson. Everyone in the arena felt what was coming.
And Caitlin Clark are talking to the official. They're both going at it saying, hey, there's a little extra right there. Uh-oh. And Marina steps in to protect JC.
Third quarter. The moment everything changes. Clark brings the ball up the court. Sheldon steps in for what looks like a steal attempt, but instead, her finger goes straight into Clark's eye. Clark's head jerks back instantly from the impact.
Third quarter we go. They're trailing by 10. Keep an eye on her and Jacy Sheldon. Clark trying to back her down.
Clark is okay.
Sheldon, that was Clark, hitting her in the face. Clark is upset about that. Then everybody's upset about that. Marina Mabrey comes in. She decks Clark, tempers flaring on both sides.
Clark grabs her face, pain and anger mixing instantly. She's squinting, trying to clear her vision. But she's thinking about more than the pain. This is the same player who injured her teammates, and now she's coming after Clark. Clark reacts like any human being would. She pushes Sheldon away. The crowd erupts. Everyone saw the eye poke. But somehow, the referees are about to make things worse.
I mean, is that displacement? I think it is.
Oh, and Marina Mabrey's going to get ejected. If the officials saw that, Marina Mabrey is going to get ejected.
Well, they're going to go and look at it. Look at Mabrey. She's got a scar on one side, a scratch on one side of her face, a scratch on the other side. It's not from the game today. I asked her about it. She's always in the mix. There's a lot of contact here. There's a scrape across the face. That's what Clark didn't like.
Clark is standing there holding her eye, clearly the victim of a dangerous play. But the refs blow their whistles, and they assess Caitlin Clark a technical foul for pushing back after getting poked in the eye. The crowd is furious. The replay shows it clearly. Clark, who just scored 32 points in her first game back, is getting punished, while the player who poked her walks away again. And this was only the beginning, because Marina Mabrey was watching, and she was about to take things to a whole different level.
Take another look as we try to figure out what exactly went down. So you see her get hit in the face. Jacy Sheldon doesn't like that, and everybody on the team doesn't like it. Marina, trying to have her teammates back, pushes her down. You see a little bit of drama all the way around. Tina, Charles, Clark, and Mabrey, they received technical fouls. Sheldon received a flagrant 1 foul.
Immediately after Clark gets that ridiculous technical, Marina Mabrey decides to escalate things. Clark is still dealing with her eye when Mabrey charges and body checks her, straight up hockey style. Clark hits the floor hard, stunned. Everyone in the arena sees the cheap shot.
Comes over and does something that shocked everyone in the arena.
That's what Clark didn't like. And then Mabrey came in with a bump.
And Mabrey's day is almost assuredly going to be done. But both teams.
The entire Fever bench explodes in anger. They just watched their star player get assaulted in plain sight. Players point at Mabrey, shouting at the officials to wake up. The crowd is losing it. Coach Stephanie White is furious, screaming, pointing, begging the refs to actually control the game. This wasn't basketball anymore. This was targeted violence.
And then Marina Mabrey comes out of nowhere and chucks her to the floor. Now let's watch this in slow motion. Here, Jacy Sheldon is guarding Caitlyn, swipes her in the face. There's one. Going for the ball, swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlyn's gonna have to start wearing goggles. And then Caitlyn pushes her off of her, like, why are you still in my face? Marina Mabrey, bat out of hell, chucks Caitlin Clark to the ground.
And what do the refs do? They give Mabrey a common technical foul, the same penalty Clark got for defending herself. Think about that. I poke plus shove equals T on Clark. Hockey-style body check equals T on Mabrey. The math does not add up, and everyone knows it.
Now, after this, you guys, of course, the referees are going to review the play because that's a lot of contact going on right there. That's a lot of unnecessary contact. That's a lot of non-basketball contact happening during this play, right? So the 3 referees that I like to say, they got them straight out of Sephora because I don't think these referees have ever refereed a professional basketball game in their life. They took these referees, they were at the monitor, they looked at it for, I'm not even exaggerating, you guys, like 15 minutes. 15 minutes they are watching this play over and over. Announcers here are saying, of course, Marina Mabrey is going to get ejected because that was unwarranted. She literally came out of nowhere and chucked Caitlin Clark. There should be a flagrant one, of course, on Jacy Sheldon because she swiped her and hit her in the eyeball. Whether it is intentional or not, you can still have a flagrant a flagrant foul called on you, whether you are trying to intentionally hurt somebody or not. But this is what they called, you guys. This is what they called. Caitlin Clark, Marina Mabrey, Tina Charles were assessed with technical fouls on Tuesday. Caitlin, Marina, and Tina Charles. Technical fouls. That's it. Technical fouls. That's it. And Jacy Sheldon was assessed with a flagrant 1 foul, and no players were ejected.
At this point, the message was clear. The officials were not going to protect Clark, so her teammates would have to. Sophie Cunningham saw enough. Final minute of the game. Fever up 87-70. She sees Jacy Sheldon with the ball, and she isn't thinking about the score anymore. She's thinking about May 30th, about her own injury, about Clark getting attacked twice, about Mabrey's body check.
When the officials don't get control of the ball game, when they allow that stuff to happen, and it's been happening all season long. All season long. It's not just this game. It's been happening all season long. This is what happens, right? This is what happens. You've got competitive women who are the best in the world at what they do, right? And when you allow them to play physical and you allow these things to happen, they're going to compete and they're going to have their teammates' backs. It's exactly what you expect, right? Out of fierce competition. So, I started talking to the officials in the first quarter and we knew this was going to happen. You could tell it was going to happen. So they got to get control of it. They got to be better.
Cunningham remembers everything. Sitting injured while Sheldon walked around untouched, watching the officials ignore dangerous plays, watching Clark take 2 cheap shots in one night. Now Sheldon drives to the basket and Cunningham sees her moment.
So now let's talk about Sophie Cunningham. At the end of the game, Jacy Sheldon is going for a fast break layup and Sophie Cunningham is running with her. And I remember in my head, like it happened in a split second and I said, oh, let's see. Let's see what happens here.
She lines up Sheldon and delivers the most satisfying flagrant foul you'll ever see. Cunningham wraps her up hard and pulls her straight to the floor. This wasn't a basketball move. This was justice. A clear message. Nobody messes with her teammates. The officials give Cunningham a flagrant 2 and eject her. Sheldon and Lindsay Allen are also ejected for their roles in the fight. 3 players tossed. But the message was delivered.
Sophie commits a hard foul on Jacy Sheldon. Again, as Jacy Sheldon is going up for a layup, Sophie bear hugs her and takes her to the ground. What I will say is Sophie did not grab her and throw her to the ground. She didn't body slam her. She didn't do anything, in my personal opinion. Maybe I'm biased here, but I'm going to give you guys my straight up honest opinion on this. She bear hugged her, took her to the ground. Yes, it was intentional. It was absolutely intentional.
Finishes with 20 points and 6 assists, leading the Fever to an 88-71 win that felt like much more than a victory. Natasha Howard logs her 50th career double-double with 16 and 12. Kelsey Mitchell adds 17. A full team performance, but everyone knows what really mattered.
to me payback for what was happening the entire game. But she did it in a way that she wasn't going to injure Jacy. She was just making it known, like, if the refs aren't going to handle it, I will handle it. We'll take care of it, but this is not what you're going to do when you come into our house. It was an intentional foul. It was a hard foul. She brought her down. But with that, you guys, Jacy Sheldon got up and she was ready to go. So as you guys can see in this video, a whole scuffle breaks out. Sophie and Jacy are going after it. Both teams are running over, trying to break it up. It kind of goes into the fan section a little.
This wasn't just beating the Sun. This was the Fever proving they won't be bullied. They won't be intimidated. And they will always protect their own. The win sends them to their first ever Commissioner's Cup final. But more importantly, it sends a message to the entire WNBA. If you target the Fever, you will pay for it.
A rare miss at the rim for Aaliyah Boston, the league's top field goal percentage shooter in the WNBA, but it's Boston who comes up with the steal and the find to Howard. Clark working on the rookie. Clark on the drive. Hang, shot too strong. There's Howard to clean up.
And Clark working off the ball, comes off the stagger.
Third year in her WNBA in terms of setting up her teammates. Clark behind the back, feed inside. Two more for Howard.
The Fever got their revenge for May 30th. Clark got justice after the eye poke and body check. And Sophie Cunningham became a hero for defending her team when the officials wouldn't. Sometimes referees won't protect you, but your teammates always will. And that's exactly what happened on June 17th.
The Fever fans were chanting, Sophie, Sophie. Sophie's jersey is going to sell out tonight. She's going to be in the All-Star game tonight just from this one play because she was standing on business. It wasn't a dirty play. It was an intentional foul and it was meant to send a message. It turned into a scuffle and I don't think anybody wanted that.
Oh, and Clark just took it away. It's a 2-on-1. Clark bounce pass, pretty fine, and Mitchell won't miss from there.
This game proved the Indiana Fever aren't just talented, they're a family. A team that fights for each other when things get tough. When officials fail, teammates like Sophie Cunningham step up. That's real loyalty in professional sports. Next up, the Commissioner's Cup final on July 1st against the Minnesota Lynx. After seeing how this team handles adversity, 2025 is looking bright for Fever fans. Remember this moment when someone says loyalty doesn't matter. Sophie Cunningham proved otherwise. If you support the Fever, comment CC and Spicy Sophie below. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video.